Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
How I'm feeling about that intro yet, Mike. It's still
It's a work in progress,
yeah.
but it's new. It's not the same old, so that's always good.
Yeah. I just like at my old age, like change isn't always, the best thing for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm a little stubborn,
Dude,
and
hold my
so
beer, buddy.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm just saying, So
I'm still getting over people not having fax machines.
you're like, yeah, let me mail you a check. While I'm
Yeah, I
at
got
it.
all these rolls of that, tempered paper.
It's funny. I got some like stamps in here somewhere here in my office, but it's like I've had them for forever. And I don't know why I bought like however many I bought way back when, but they've been sitting there collecting dust, and all these things just become like antiquated over the years. And DVDs and CDs that I still got somewhere around here that I paid like $20 for way back when. So
Laser discs,
uh,
can be laser discs.
yeah, I remember those back in school with the overhead projector. So
Yeah.
amongst other things. How are you, buddy? You doing all right?
8-track tapes is what will really date you.
No.
Everything's good. Yeah. Waiting for the new year.
What's
See
on deck for the new year?
2026 brings. Got one more day.
What do you got going on?
What's that?
What do you got going on for the new year?
Tomorrow night? New Year's Eve, we just make a bunch of food, mostly a lot of fish, things like that, and just sit around through the evening and watch old movies.
Yeah?
Yep.
I like it. I like that style. I've never been.
We've done all this, in our youth, we did all the, big parties, go out of town for the New Year's, have people over at the house for New Year. We've done all that. I'm playing the back
time to relax. Yeah,
Yes.
I like that. I like that. I've never been one to like go out on New Year's. It's never been my thing. I don't know why.
No,
it's a lot of like knuckleheads out and about, and and plus at this point in my life, I enjoy being in bed by like a decent hour, like thoroughly. You know what I mean? I like getting up at like this morning I got up at 5:30, hit the gym, and so and my body's just when I get out of whack, it takes me like it feels like a month to recover. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just I like my schedule. So
in Chicago, there were 2 days that were always best spent at home. And that was New Year's Eve and St. Patrick's Day. Just stay home. Don't even.
And those happen to be like big drinking holidays too, both of them. So
they're complete amateur hours. I mean, I used to work a lot on St. Patrick's Day downtown, and my window would look out onto Michigan Avenue. And all the suburbanite kids would come in for St. Patrick's Day, and they'd be bombed at 10 o'clock in the morning. And at 11:30 in the morning, you'd see, guys and girls sitting on the curb, throwing up, whatever. It was just like, Jesus.
Lovely.
I don't even want to be here. So
I think about like,
but
when I hear these stories, I think about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So
it makes that look like Christmas Day.
Well, let's bring in the guest of honor, and I'm excited to have her on. And actually, we'll start off with just on that note, Kristina, welcome back to the show. My first question for you is: have you seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Because I know you're younger in age, and so that might be before your time.
Yeah, probably.
No.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well,
what's the earliest American movie you remember seeing?
Christmas related? Home
No.
Alone? No.
Oh, any kind, any memorable American movie that you remember seeing when you were young.
Tiffany's, Breakfast at Tiffany's. I don't know if it's American one.
Breakfast at Tiffany's? That's
Charlie Chaplin. I watched all his movies. So
Yeah.
See, so you're watching a lot of black and white. I like that.
I'm an old soul. Yeah.
Yeah, good. We'll talk movies someday.
I like that style for sure. You're in a much warmer climate than used to being at this time of year, Kristina. How's Miami treating you so far?
I cannot complain. Like literally, if I could show you the view from my window, you would be jealous. So I'm not gonna do that. But it's just absolutely beautiful. I know a lot of people who've been living here for quite some time, getting tired from the same weather. Like there's no seasons. But me coming from, Russia, it's just almost like a dream to be waking up every day with the same weather. So it's very good for my mental health, I think.
Yeah. Not
I
bad
like
at all.
I like the open windows and natural light in the morning. And I don't know about you, but like when I'm at a hotel, I always like having the shades open because I want to wake up as the sun rises. I want to see sunrises and sunsets. I don't know what it is about that, but something about my body at this point, it's like I need it in my life.
Yeah.
What's your plans for New Year's, Kristina?
So I have a Russian, like a girl from Russia, my friend who came visit me, and my roommate Alexandra. So it's like three of us, like Russian girls, and we're gonna go to a Russian place. It's like a food and bar and like hookah, and they had like a New Year program or something. So we just decided to go there because none of us wanted to cook. So
So is this Alexandra tall? This tall Alexandra?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell her I said hello. Good girl.
Hello.
She's still playing pool?
Yes, she's back in pool. Yes.
Good. Yeah, nice girl.
You're just coming off of a wonderful world championship run, Kristina. Before we dive on into that, when you think back about we'll get into it. Well, when you reflect back outside of that event, I should say.
First, let's talk about the Colorado Classic.
Yeah. How do you reflect on the last year, and how do you grade yourself as far as how you've done in the overall in 2025?
I don't think I had a bad year. I think I had like above the average year. Also like earning wise. Of course, I didn't. I think 2024 was like very successful year for me. I feel like 2025 is more or less close with like achievements and everything. But also, yes, I mentioned in my post, it's just been a lot of things going on mentally for me, I guess, this year. So I feel like I had a very good year considering like my mental state. So yeah, I'm proud of myself probably for this year.
Yeah, well, you played in I looked like about a dozen tournaments, women tournaments, and I think you're only worse than fifth through eighth 2 or 3 times. I think you played in 4 finals and 1 in Colorado. So really for most players, women or men, that would be a really successful year. But I know you put yourself to a pretty high standard, especially after
The
last
bar
year.
is somewhere there.
Yeah. And so it's interesting because we talked last year, at the end of last year, and you talked a lot about learned during that year that helped you turn things around, like not ever saying, why me, and not blaming yourself either for things go wrong, just accepting what they are and being stronger and moving forward into the next event. And so that's what got you through 24, and you had a great year. But you also said going into 25, it's very easy to you don't automatically have it answered now. You can slip back a little bit or get stuck in. So what did you learn in 25 that that you thought you had figured out in 24?
So I think in 2024 I kind of just starting to have this new mentality of like approaching the game and approaching generally my life, because I think that whatever mindset you have for life is reflecting really well on the table. So it's not just something you can work on the table, and in life you have absolutely different mentality. And this is what I think helped me tremendously, just start figuring things in life which I brought with me to a pool table. So 2024 was almost like start building like a foundation, like a really strong, solid foundation for my future, like development mental wise and just generally, skill wise. But we're talking about mental part here right now. And I think 2025 was the year that probably challenged me the most in like every single aspect, because also, as you said, when you have such a successful year, you're a world champion, you're a player of the year, it's very easy to start expecting yourself to perform always at such a high level, which we all know it's very hard. And not putting any expectations. I think I posted one time in my stories saying you have to expect nothing and be grateful for everything. So this is
Amen to
kind of
that.
like a mentality I was trying to implement in my life, off and on the table, where I just take the challenge and I know I can always play good, and I'm kind of like more on the acceptance stage, where I'm like I just accept for having a bad day, versus before I think we also talked about it, I was super hard on myself, like how could I miss this ball, like it's almost like I'm not a human. So this year I feel like I was just mentally more calm, because I had less expectations, like truly, not just say, hey, yeah, it doesn't matter how I'm going to perform, like truly believe that, hey, I'm going to do everything I can. And also, believing that um it's not like I believe that I will have a successful year or something, but like I believe if I'm gonna have challenges, it's not that they're not gonna happen. I know they're gonna happen, but I also have faith in myself that I can overcome that. So whatever's happening, I know that I have this faith in myself as a player, as a person, that I can overcome those obstacles, because I've done that in the past. So probably 2024 will help me to like show me that I'm capable of having
Right.
this faith in me, and like I'm capable of overcoming any obstacle on a table, off the table. So 2025 was kind of like a year of really believing that and like truly aligning with this mindset.
Did you have any like challenges in terms of like overthinking or maybe getting too down on yourself prior to, like where you would just mentally just it's hard to let go of a missed shot or a disappointment compared to maybe what you thought you wanted to do in that match or that tournament or whatever.
Of course, I mean, we're all human and we have all those things. And I'm not saying, hey, you can create a perfect mindset where you're never going to be
Sure.
disappointed with yourself. It's just you decide and you control how much you let it affect you in the game or after the game, in the tournament, or so of course it's tough to lose, it's tough to miss an easy shot, it's
Yeah.
tough not to get out of an easy layout, but it's about like again accepting that, hey, yeah, it happened, try to figure out why and how to prevent it. So that's all you can do.
Being out in Miami now, I see you've been hanging out at Classic Billiards, and I had Dave on the podcast yesterday along with Dennis Hatch. Tell me about that room and just what the vibe out there is like in the Miami pool scene.
I honestly, it's the only pool room I've been so far in Miami, honestly.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yes, so I have very good friends, Sandy and Brianna, that's shooting in there as well. And they were telling me about this place for a very long time. And finally, I was here, I was able to check it out. And they expanded the room just recently. I'm sure Dave was telling you about that. And they have like this whole TV table arena set up, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's quite a drive for us, like maybe like 40, 45 minutes, but I really love this place. It feels like family also, like it's the same people and very clean, very good environment. So very good equipment, like diamond 4-inch pockets, it's perfect for practicing and yeah. I am really grateful for, their help and being able to be together with them.
Well, you mentioned not having expectations at certain points throughout this year, but there's a WPBA tournament coming up out there. What's the expectation for you now, especially considering how well you're playing?
No expectations. Of
Still,
course, it's great to win.
yeah,
Would be
yeah,
Gotta
absolutely
live it.
amazing. And
yeah, yeah,
actually, I was going to Jacksonville, and this thought crossed my mind, like, oh, it would be nice to win, like, in your home state, and also Predator, like the whole,
yeah, yeah.
like their
Yeah.
office and everything. They're all people that work there who know me and like cheer for me, and I'm like, dang, it would be so nice to win there. But you know of course it would be great, because also my dad's gonna come in the beginning of the January, and he's gonna be with me, so it's always kind of special to see, to compete when my dad is watching like live. So yeah, but I don't have any expectations, just want to enjoy the game and try my best.
Is it any easier or harder when Dad's there in the audience watching? Like any more pressure or less pressure?
It's I'm
Be
back and
honest.
forth about it. With one hand, it's like obviously it's very nice when there's
Right.
somebody cheering for you. I don't know why it's
Well, we might have lost her, Mike.
sorry guys.
Or you can
Just
you?
that nobody's gonna
That's all
call
right.
me like
The first, so
okay,
before
I
before we
enjoy
went
it.
live, I said, hey, listen, if anything happens, if you get a phone call, and she says, no one's gonna call me right now. So sure
Nobody's
enough,
gonna call me.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
god.
it was my
All
bad.
right. And
No, you're fine. You're fine.
it's just like had to happen now. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Yeah, of course.
you're good. You're good.
so and with one hand, it's kind of like very helpful when somebody's cheering there for me, and I feel like I am playing better. But with other hand, because of those, like, might be those expectations that I have, like I want to win, like, and I want him to be around me, and this is the problem where I just want to win too much, and usually it's always hindering you from actually winning. So
He used to coach you a lot. Will you do coaching work with him during his stay here? Will he play that role too, or is he just an observer?
no, we're probably gonna work on some things. It's very helpful when somebody can again just sometimes look from a side and observe, because he knows everything about my stroke, about my stance, obviously, like it's nice when somebody's just giving you extra feedback. Also somebody's helping you to spot the balls, and it's always more fun to be with somebody, like practicing with
Yeah.
somebody, than just practicing by myself. So yeah, we're probably going to do some work together.
How do you separate it though? Because typically a kid doesn't like getting feedback from their parents, like in general. Like dad's always hard on me, and I get all the time from my girls. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, he's also your coach, so like you have to respect that aspect and him, being in that role. So like, how challenging is that for you, or is it?
It's been a journey.
I
Let
can
me put
imagine.
it that way. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
a journey, and the relationship we have right now, I'm very, very grateful for what we've built together. But it's not always been like that. Let's put it this way. And
yeah,
of course, like his ambitions and his, projecting onto me about some things were not helpful, but also it made me who I am today. He was,
sure,
always like very tough on me, which again, as a kid, is tremendously hard. As an
right,
athlete, it's what you sometimes need to succeed, unfortunately or
yeah,
fortunately. So now it's, more, he's not like really coaching me about like positional game and stuff like that, just more
Right.
about somebody to talk to after, before the match. When I'm super nervous, I can call him. It's like, oh my God, like I'm shaking, I don't know what to do. And like we
yeah.
talk and he calms me down. So it's more like mental work. So
If you ever go back and like reflect on that journey, do you see it differently now, being older now compared to whenever you were younger?
oh, absolutely. But also, I'm quite some time in therapy, and this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what it teaches you to view things differently. And sometimes what we see there now, it's like how we see it through our, whatever experience, or subconscious mind, right? And of course, like as a kid, it's tough when you're practicing all the time. You don't go out like everybody else, the teenagers having fun, having boyfriends, girlfriends, and I'm like here in the pool room just shooting the same ball over and
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna like that? Nobody's gonna like that. So as a kid, you feel like it's not fair, and you don't really understand why you're doing it because you don't see any results yet. It's just a blind work and blind belief that eventually it's gonna one day pay off. But of course, when you grow up, you see things differently, and I think one of the biggest challenge for a parent is keep the balance in between being a parent, but also you as a parent, your biggest I think the biggest like goal is to give your kid necessary skills to survive in this world, right? You
Yeah.
have to teach them how
Yeah.
to be a good person, hardworking,
Sure.
dedication, all of that, which a lot of times kids don't want to learn that, like because they don't know why they need that again, and you just like kind
It's
of have
it's
to be a bad cop.
it's impossible, and it's very difficult, especially with, listen, I mean this with all due respect, but women can be a little up and down sometimes emotionally, you know what I mean? So like, especially my girls, and so it's hard to like try to understand them and speak with them versus speaking at them at the same time, like when there's
Yeah.
opportunity for lessons, because I grew up kind of like in that same type of culture. Mexican culture is very like old school, and parents are hard on you. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't change it for the world. At the same time, I wouldn't want my girls to grow up that way either.
Yeah.
And so, and I can only imagine well, actually, I can't imagine because I've never been in your shoes in terms of like having that type of skill set, but even just playing recreational sports, it was always that balance between home life and then wanting to go and compete. And especially if you have blurred lines with parents and things like that, it can be a challenge. Let me ask you this: like, as you were going through that journey, did you ever like fall out of love with pool? Like,
Oh yeah,
'cause- yeah,
multiple times. Multiple.
yeah,
I quit for a year when I was I think 12. So of course my story is a little different because most of pool players, I think they fall in love with the game and they decide to play themselves and they're just like all this obsessed with the game. It's a little different with me because I fall in love in the process. I was also very young. I was 8 years old and I didn't know anything else but playing pool and going to school. So actually going to school was super fun for me because it's something else than playing pool. I always love to go to school. I'm like, you actually get to talk to, other people and do
yeah,
something else. So I kind of, gained this love. Like how they say about like I was referred to how they talk about like healthy love in between people where the love the longer you are with a person the deeper love goes and it's stronger it gets instead of like being in toxic relationship where it's just like a flame. So I'm trying to convince myself that this is what it is. It's just a healthy relationship, which takes time to figure out, how it is, and fall in love
it's like,
slowly.
I hate to break your heart, but no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
I think all players can relate
Bull's
to
not going to
that.
send you flowers on Valentine's
Yeah.
Day.
Every pool player at some point or another like thinks while they're sleeping in the bed at night like that shot they missed, and then they hate the game and they're just like, I'd never want to do this again. And
Yeah.
then the next day they're just on tilt and they're just putting the cue back together and determined to get over that hump. It's like it's so brutal. Mike, what do you got?
Love hate
Oh, yeah,
relationship.
that's how
Yeah,
interesting. I know you work a lot on the mental side of not only just the game, but on applying these things to principles, things like that to your life. Um, because having them both tie together with your sport and your life makes you more balanced, right? What are the most important things that you've learned about yourself through that, and the most helpful things that you've learned in the past year or so?
Staying humble. I think life and pool teaches you how to stay humble and as I said, be just grateful because a lot of times we all are guilty of wanting more things. And it's not like a guilt, but like not really appreciating what you have. You always want more and more. And for the past year, I've have been living really my dream life. I make good money. I can financially support myself. I do what I love. I don't have to go wake up and do the job I don't like, which 99% in the world doing it every single day. And they're not looking for a trip to New Zealand or, Jacksonville or, I don't know, Bali. They don't have all of that. So I always bring myself down into saying, hey, you have to be really grateful for what you have and the life that you're living, and work hard for it. I know I do work hard for it, but it's also, again, always keep the fire going, because I'm like, I'm lucky. I'm a lucky one to have this life. So I want to do everything I can to, keep improving and keep doing better. In the same time, having this gratitude for what I already have and achieved.
Is there like practical things that you're implementing? Because I like at certain points in my life, I mean, whether it's affirmations or I'm praying at night or I've got a gratitude journal, just to like constantly reaffirm the fact that like you have to be appreciative, and be
Yeah.
thankful. Or is it just something that you just try to live and think about throughout the day?
Yes, this is what I try to do. Like I do sometimes gratitude journal, and also I start journaling my thoughts, and writing down. I feel like it's been very calming and therapeutic.
Therapeutic for sure. Yeah.
Yes. But also, yeah, I have to admit, I have to do more like meditation, because I know this is what all athletes should be doing. And generally, it's very healthy for you, especially in the world that we're living, especially in the amount of time you're spending on your phone, which can definitely raise an anxiety and all of those things. So, yeah, social media is evil.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So,
There goes half the
um,
viewers.
Yeah.
yeah. So, those things, yeah, like writing down and just generally every day. Actually, I read a book one time, so about how people are stuck in a very negative cycle of everything, like they're not recognizing positive things, all you're focusing on the negative things. So it's basically
Sure.
you're constantly in a negative mindset. So in this book, it was saying that you have to every single day wake up and find three things you're grateful for. Let's say you go to the shower and you have a hot water. I'm grateful that I have a hot water, because some people
Yeah.
like in Africa, they don't have water to shower in.
Sure.
Right. And stuff like, even if it's like super silly, but like force yourself to start focusing on the positive sides more than negative. And that's what I've been trying to do for the past year. And I really see a lot of big difference where I start being just generally more positive and attract more positive things coming my way. So the law of attraction. So
Where do you get all these pieces of information? You talk about reading a book. Do you read a lot of other books? Do you constantly look for things to help you improve, understand better the things that are going on? Do you listen to podcasts? Where do you get your knowledge base for kind of assessing where you're at?
yeah, I do listen a lot of podcasts. That's true, but most of them like Russian. I have some like couple like American, but mostly it's like Russian podcasts. And I do read books, yes. Also, again, therapy, and then it's just, I don't know, sometimes I feel like information just coming my way. Even if I
Yeah.
scroll doomless on Instagram, but still, like every single reel is about, I don't know, therapy, like
What the algorithm will pick up like the
of
stuff
course,
that you're seeking
Yeah,
yeah.
out.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah,
Uh,
like it's
yeah.
it's really weird like that. And I think, listen, all those things are so vital, and I can relate to that on a personal level,
mm,
especially over the last 2 years, and everything you're saying, whether it's in the morning being grateful or at the end of the night. And at certain points, you just like you get too comfortable in the process of life. Like you get up and I'm going to brush my teeth, so I'm not going to take the whatever it is 30 seconds to write those three things down. Same thing at the end of the night. But I find that the more that I give those things respect and effort, it's so much more soothing. Like
mhm,
my soul feels better
yeah,
following that. And even if it's just starting the day like that on a positive or ending the day like that on a positive, like the more that you invest in yourself and in that mental side of it, man, it's so rewarding. And it's so difficult to like get into those rhythms, but once you do, it's beautiful, you
yeah.
know.
It's also hard just mentally to start anything new that you
Sure.
haven't done before. It's just, creating those new neuron connections are extremely tough. And this is where you need some discipline and motivation, whatever you call that, to
Yeah.
actually stick to that. Because then once
Both.
you see the
I mean,
results, it's
motivation and
easier.
discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that mindset. Tell me how, what are some things that you're telling yourself when you're sitting in the chair, maybe, or is it just like breathing techniques? And I've talked to like a lot of different players, but like, what is something that works for you personally, to whether you're calming yourself down or just kind of get yourself more balanced in the moment?
Yeah, I do breathing techniques, like I'm trying to breathe certain way and also just trying to stay present in the moment and remind myself of why am I here. Like it's very, I think me and Mike talked about it last year. It's very easy to be carried away in the moment of trying to win. Like you're competing, you're nervous, whatever it is, world championships. um but it's very, very important for me to remind myself that, hey, I'm here to compete. I'm playing the game that I love. And in the end of the day, my life is not going to collapse if I'm not going to win.
Yeah.
And it's just like, kind of like, again, bringing myself back in the moment instead of like being carried away about like what ifs, what if I'm going to win, what if I'm going to lose, and all of those things that not helping you. So I'm just trying to say whatever, like reminding myself why am I here, and reminding myself that I'm capable of. Again, I have faith in myself that I'm a good player. I can do this, and all I can is just try my best to do that. If today is not the day, it's not the day. Some
Yeah.
things just like they just fall. Like especially this World Championships, I felt like just you could feel that everything is going your way. There's just tournaments like that, or you can feel like everything is going wrong. I'm not
Right,
saying like an excuse,
right,
but
Yeah.
you
right,
can
right.
feel it with your God, with everything just fall, and everything is like happening in the right time, in the right moment. And it's you feel like, okay, it's probably this is my time, my day. And you just capitalize on those things. So also feeling kind of like this flow of energy. But in the end of the day, again, I believe that whatever happens supposed to happen. So all I can do is just try my best.
You could see it this tournament. At least I did anyway. And I told Mike, something similar, like as far as whatever I was watching you play, and particularly like, and it started with that Cheska match, and it
Yeah,
just seemed like it was yours. And
Yeah.
and Cheska was playing great, but you weren't going to be denied. And you had some really solid killer instinct spots where you just took it, and you don't see a lot of players that embrace it, and even if they want to embrace it, like they actually fulfill it, And that was something like whatever energy you were feeling that moment, it was coming through, and not just with results on the table, but like you could physically see it on you in the moment. It was pretty cool to watch as a fan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk about the rest of the World Championship because obviously it had some highs and it had some tough moments as well. Christina,
yeah.
I
I mean,
love.
yeah. What was the
Go ahead,
roller
man.
coaster of that event like? I mean, how did you, negotiate it? And you were riding a real high
Yeah,
through the entire tournament. You were playing phenomenally well.
for
But
sure.
the final you're playing someone who's also playing well and has the same mindset that you do about playing the game they love and just try to be present. And you're playing someone who's thinking the same things that you're thinking. And someone's not going to win. So, take us through how you felt through the tournament and how that final went for you, and how you.
Um, yeah, my first match, I feel like I haven't played my best in the TV table with a Japanese girl. I was kind of nervous, even though I've played mixed doubles with Locatas, and I think we did pretty well considering I had
Yeah,
to change like my partner
last
last
minute,
minute.
right? Yeah,
Yeah. So I was kind of nervous, kind of not feeling well, physically, just not, I don't know, just not feeling it. And then second, third, like the more I played, the better I felt. And this, I think, usually happens throughout the tournament, especially long events like those, because I've played 12 matches in 4 days, which is a lot, considering it's also not, single race to 7. It takes a lot you mentally because the races are short, like pressure is constantly on.
Yeah.
So the more I played, the better I felt. And even when I lost to Bean to qualify through the winner side, I still felt like I've played really good. It's just like one, two things again just didn't go my way. I made, some mistake that I didn't get away with, for example, and it's just, just didn't go my way, and I didn't play maybe at certain moments my best. But then overall, I still felt like I've played really good. So I really had no expectations. Like really, I thought it's the last tournament of the year. I'm gonna try my best, but whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I was already pack up and go to the beach. Just like I survived this year. So yeah, so but I was also like preparing well for the world championships. Like I practice every day. I was giving a lot of lessons too, which was kind of like challenging to do all together. But I feel like I was really just in a very good shape, and going there and getting there like the same day we went to the pool room practice with Alexandra, and I just felt really well. Like I've told my dad I'm playing really well. Like it's scary how well I'm playing. So yeah, I kind of felt really good physically, like well prepared. But again, you never know how it's gonna go. So
what are some things you do throughout that process to like maintain that like positiveness? Because I know like for me, diet, exercise, trying to stay on a routine, like what are some things that work for you to kind of stay as going on the uptick as much as possible?
yeah, I think staying in my routine, as you mentioned, it's the biggest thing. I'm 100% a routine person. I love to do the same thing, eat the same thing at the same time. This is how I guess I loosen control,
Yeah.
because I'm a control freak. So it helps my mind to relax where I don't have to plan anything. I know what I'm gonna do weeks in advance. So I really enjoy that. And this is what I actually had before the World Championship, because Alexandra went back to Serbia to do some final exams, and I literally been by myself the whole month, which is also I've never ever lived by myself in my life.
Yeah.
Right? And by myself like for such a long time. And all I've done it was literally the same thing every day. And I felt so good, like bad and good in the same time, but like I just mentally felt like I'm doing the right thing. And I think this is the key for me is just staying and doing as much as I can, like staying in my routine.
So when you prepare like that, that's one thing. Then you get to a tournament and you're in doubles and you're in singles and you got playing 12 matches over X number of days, then the schedule gets down. How do you maintain some kind of normalcy routine through an event like that where you don't know what times you're going to play, or you just got to race from one match to the next match, things like that?
You mean like doubles and singles and all that stuff, Mike? So it's
Yeah, or play 2 singles matches in a row if you're going to lose, things like that.
Well, I do not necessarily stick to my routine throughout my whole life. And I
You're right.
probably meant that I use that more as a tool to calm my mind down. I don't know if you have ever experienced where, like, if you had like a lot of multiple things going on and you just feel like very anxious, you feel like
yeah,
you're just everywhere and it's hard for you to focus, like you're trying to sit down to read, it's like even hard for you to focus, like your mind is just like high, like raising, and it's just
sure.
I don't know, it's like you're just not 100% calm and focused, and so this happens to me a lot, I feel like, because being a professional athlete, on top of that, having everything else you have to take care of, because our sport obviously doesn't pay enough for me to hire a team for my social media, for my, I don't know, physiologist, for so I have to do everything myself, on like starting with being an athlete, which requires practicing and planning your trips, and do working out and stretching and cooking, doing meal preps, which is already a lot, right? On top of that, I do lessons, and then
God,
I
I hate
do
meal prep.
social. social media, right? And then, I still trying to be whatsoever social. But this month before the World Championships, not a single time I went out anywhere. Like it was literally home, pool room, grocery store, gym, yoga, and go back. I haven't been anywhere else. Like this has been my whole thing, which I don't complain because I really like, as you said, you enjoy going to bed in a decent time, and I feel like
Yeah,
you know,
I can
um,
100% relate, because
yeah,
nothing feels better. It's a little boring at times,
yeah,
but it's like it's so refreshing, and like
yeah,
it's good for you. And if it's good for you, then just stick with it. And I
exactly.
I I know it can be difficult, and especially like in the position you're in, Christina, because like if you're going through these challenges and you're trying to accomplish certain things, but then there's also that social media aspect which you touched on earlier. How tough has it been to like go through the ebbs and flows of the year, but then social media is kind of part of the deal now when it comes to being an athlete. And so like how have you balanced that without getting like sucked into the negativity of it all as well?
Well, yeah, social media is obviously one of the most important things, I'd say, especially if you have already some achievements. And, like, of course, it's always great to win another world champion, another, but in the end of the day, if you win 10 or 5 world championships, like it's not, I believe, gonna really reflect on your income, right? So if you're really trying to um have more passive income, be like just generally expand your brand, social media is the key,
Yeah.
unfortunately or unfortunately. And it's been challenging for me because, yeah, it's just very draining. And that's why I think for the next year I want to like preferably find someone who will help me out with that, like some videographer, somebody who can do reels and stuff, because I have not been doing this at all. And it's one of the most important things again.
Yeah.
And when it comes to negativity, it's just, I'm not gonna lie, like I've been kind of affected with some of the comments and stuff, but again, I choose not to being dragged in that, because I know why people do that, and I can only feel bad for them because they just don't have their own life. And me as a happy person, I would never go online trying to bash somebody ass because somebody's not living up to your expectations, my expectations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just know you have to be like mentally sick to do that, and I just feel bad for those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times it's just better left alone, you know, and that's the part of like just out of sight, out of mind, and move on and jumping on back into your routine and the positiveness and whatever's going to keep you back flowing in a great direction. I love that advice for sure. I want to talk more about that final though, Christina, because it was to me, and I told Mike this the other day. I thought it was the match of the year, and I know it was like the last tournament we've had, so it's kind of like victim of the moment, so to speak. There's been a lot of really good matches this year, like in professional pool. But um, how tough was that match, and how rewarding was that match for you? I know obviously you wanted to win, but talk to me a little bit about how that final went for you.
Well, it was definitely, up and down, ups and downs. I think generally just playing her again in the finals a year later is just bizarre. Like it's just
Crazy.
it's not happening like that. What are the chances?
Did you think you had an edge though, considering that you've beaten her in a final already like that?
Probably, but she
Yeah,
also had an extremely successful year, and you could
sure.
clearly see she
Yeah, yeah,
grew up
Yeah.
a lot after losing this. Because let's be honest, she lost to herself last year. Like I didn't beat her. Like all I had to just hang in there and waiting for her
yeah,
to beat herself. And this is what I did. Like I did not. I don't feel like, except for the last set, like I somehow overplayed her. Like it was both of our first finals. Obviously, we're super young, and it was very nervous. So you could see it was a big struggle for both of us. And I knew this year probably it's not going to be like that. And also this year I felt a lot more confident because it's not my first final. And, it's my, what, fourth medal in the world championship. So, I've been there multiple times for the past couple of years. So I knew it's going to be a lot tougher than the last year, even though you think I have an edge in winning. But
yeah,
I knew that she's coming with a very strong game and very strong mental game. And I knew it's not going to be like last year. Um, So it was, yeah, it was a roller coaster for sure, because I lost the first set, then I won last two after that, and then I was on the hill, like last, same as the last year. I was a game away of winning world championships, same as her last year. And sometimes just, obviously I did make a couple of mistakes, but also have to admit that this year tables were playing a lot tighter. It was the point pockets, they were playing tight. And it's probably the first tournament where women played on such a tight tables, which I
Is that
like.
is that right? I didn't realize that.
Well, they were like four and I think in a quarter, but I don't know why, but they played a lot tighter. And I think a lot of people like admitted that, which again, I like that. I like
Yeah,
tighter pockets because it, makes you be a lot more accurate, and I feel like it's giving more edge for a
the better
better,
player.
technically better, yeah,
Yeah,
technically better player. Which I think, in though in top women field, most of women are very strong fundamentally. So yeah, but under the pressure, you could see like you start missing some shots that you're not supposed to miss, and but also this final felt like a lot of things didn't go my way, it went her way, more than my way, in a couple like crucial moments, like when it comes to the game. But then of course when it came to the shootouts, it was
and that last set for sure.
the
I would
last.
agree. That last set, I thought
Yes,
there was a lot of there was. I mean, she played great. I don't want to take anything away from her, but there was some like fortunate rolls throughout that process as well. Talk to me about that fifth game though, because that fifth game was wild. I mean, my hands are getting sweaty now just thinking about it because
same.
it's it's 2-2. It's 2-2 in sets. It's 2-2 in games, and it felt
Someone's gonna
like
reach
from
out.
what it felt like from watching, like you want to get there so that way you at least have a chance to avoid the shootout. Is that what you're thinking about in that spot, Christina? Or because it seemed like the pressure seemed really different in that fifth game?
Yeah, well, of course, because it's like whoever's gonna get to the hill first, and
Yeah,
then statistically, she's breaking, she was breaking good, and like I might not even have a chance to go back to the table, right? So it's it was a lot of pressure, and you could see, it was a
yeah,
lot of pressure. And also I feel like 30-second shot clock felt like 10, because you're
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I just
sure.
literally just go down and it's already time, and it was very nerve-wracking. So of course, we both tried to avoid shootouts, and even thinking about shooting shootouts in a world championships, in a finals, it's kind of crazy. Like I didn't
Yeah.
believe that it's gonna be the end till the very end. So yeah.
Give me your honest opinion on just that by itself, Christina. Do you think that there should be a shootout in a world championship final?
Look, there have been a lot of, I've seen there have been a lot of people talking about it. I think that, first of all, this is the most exciting format to watch,
It is.
regardless. And why would you like, I know that this time it didn't go my way because I lost in the shootouts, but also I don't want to be hating the format just because I didn't win.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah. Which I
think it's
appreciate the
just,
honesty there. You know,
yeah, and I think it's just, it's part of the game. Like I signed up for the tournament knowing there is a shootout, and I kind of, of course, I don't enjoy. Nobody's enjoying shooting shootouts,
as an athlete,
but
you mean? Because as a
as an
fan,
athlete, exactly.
we kind of enjoy it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So I try to see a bigger picture, where I think this might help our sport a lot. And shooting shootout, like one ball, you can advertise it like shooting a one ball for $25,000.
it's
Which
wild.
you don't get to say something like that in a different format. So with one hand, of course, it's not fun, like I hate that. But with other hand, if you're looking at the bigger picture, I think that's the right move, and we just all have to embrace it and just get better.
I love that perspective and that attitude for sure. And that's like it's so difficult to gauge, and you can see it from yourself as an athlete or from the bigger picture, which I think is very mature. So it was nuts though, man. You know, she wins that fifth game, and then you came with a monster out to force the shootout. how nervous were you in that spot? Because that was, I mean, and it's crazy because when you came with that, when you finally got the look to come with that long shot, like, and you were making those consistently throughout your matches. When it came to the long ball, you were just punishing them. Did you feel like nothing was going to stop you at that point when you're trying to force the shootout on the sixth game?
I honestly, I don't know what was going on through my mind. I was like, I was so not there. Like,
Yeah,
it's just like probably like autopilot. I just try to stay in the moment again and just do what I can, like stick to my routine,
Trust
and
your
I didn't
instinct.
really
Trust
think
your.
about, trust my instinct, just trust that I can, because it was, once I made the shot, like it was very decent, like how this, like not super hard run out, and I just tried to stick with that. But look, this is a funny fact that nobody knows yet. So I have not still rewatched finals of the last World Championships,
yeah.
because I just can't. Like I just
Me
I don't
too.
mentally
blame you.
can't.
Yeah.
Well, you were there.
And
You don't.
I
Do
know,
you
and
do you
then
typically watch film though, like in
oh,
general? Like,
always,
yeah.
always. But this is the only match I've never watched in my life yet. And something tells me like it might take me a while to watch
I
this
think you're
final as
right.
well. So
Why did it?
yeah.
Why did it hurt so much more?
What's that?
Why did it? Why did it hurt so much more?
Hurt?
Yeah. Why was it so much more disappointing to you than other matches, other finals that you've lost, other shots you've missed, things like that? I mean, I know it's for a world championship, but you said you needed a couple days to kind of get yourself together before you even wrote about it, things like that. What made it different?
Yes, first of all, missing a shot for $25,000
Yeah,
was just,
Yeah.
forever written in my books. But also, yes, just, losing a world championship like that, I think it's just sucks. But also just generally, I probably like I felt very down on myself, and also, again, considering all my, challenges throughout the year, I felt like winning world championship would be just way too good for this year.
you guys owe
So
me this at this point.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm kind of like, okay, that makes sense. Like I was playing really good, I was doing really good. I'm like, where's the trick?
Yeah,
Because this year been nothing but trick. I'm like, where's the trick? Okay, I got it.
yeah. So you
So I
wait till
was
the
kind of
very end
like
and then pull the rug.
over dramatic. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw you
But I guess
after.
good.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. No, go ahead, Mike.
No.
I saw you following that to force the shootout. You were sitting in the chair and you took a deep breath and you were looking up, just kind of like exhaling. But then you had to like immediately get back
I know.
into
I
killer
was like,
mode.
just give me a second. And she was like
Yeah,
looking at me.
yeah.
I'm like,
The
give me a
human in
sec.
us is like, okay, just chill for a minute. Let her, like,
Yeah.
but you didn't have the time.
I had like 20 seconds probably before
Yeah,
shooting the 9 ball and then the shootout.
right. Yeah, yeah. How tough was that, Kristina?
It was very tough. Like I was. That's why like I put my head down, because I'm like I don't want her to look at me and like kind of like it's time to go, because I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah,
give me a second. It was
yeah.
really tough.
Yeah, no, we had trauma as fans sitting there watching it, because it was tough on us, and that was the part because usually after sets you guys get a little bit of a break, you can go wash up, whatever, and then that was the part that was crazy to me because I'm sitting there and I see you kind of have this really human reaction, which it's amazing to see because that run out was great, and then it's like, oh shit, she's gotta fucking jump on in there,
Yeah.
and um,
Like right
I don't.
now.
Yeah, like yeah, literally right now,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Talk to me about how that shootout went for you, Christina. You obviously you jumped up. She missed the first one. You were maintaining throughout, and then talk to me about the end there for you.
Traumatizing.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
yeah,
I mean, it's crazy because like before I went like to work, obviously I shot so many of those shootouts, like practicing. And I think for a regular shootout, I made like over 30 in a row, like
really.
consistently.
On
Yes.
4 inch
So
pockets.
on 4 inch, four and a quarter, four and
Okay.
a quarter, because I was practicing that before. But then for the further one, like a sudden death, I actually recorded. I made like 28 in a row. So
Wow.
I was like, I just
That is
felt,
unbelievable.
yeah. So I just felt great, like that's why when I put it in the post, like especially when,
Yeah, I was reading it right now, Kristina, because it says what makes it even more painful is knowing how
yeah,
flawless everything feels in practice. And then the most
Yeah.
important moment, something like this happens. And it's so wild to me because to hear, like, it's
yeah,
sure you kind of get it when you read that, but then hearing 30 and 20, those are stupid
yeah.
numbers, you know?
Yeah, so what are the odds that me missing like twice, like the ball I missed the exact same way, like I overcaught it. Like to me, it's just it's really rare that I'm gonna miss because also I think in 2024 every single game I won in shootouts. Like I haven't missed I think a single shootout in the whole year. So it's like of course it's me. I'm not saying it's somebody's fault, but this is just how it had to be. It had to happen like that. I had to miss twice the ball to win 3 times, which not gonna happen a lot, I think. But it happened this moment. So I take that as again just it was a faith and it was a faith for her to win, and that's why I mentioned her in the post, which just seeing her reaction again, and I really respect her as a player. And I've seen she had a great year, and I've been there on her spot, like losing and crying and feeling so down on myself, and she just came out stronger out of this loss, and then she just bounced back, and I can respect that because I can also kind of relate it to me.
Sure.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was just like a very weird dynamic
and
where
and you
like
guys are like forever connected in that aspect because
yeah.
like you've both been on like opposite
Both
ends
sides.
in a beautiful one and in a tough way all at the same time, in a
Yeah.
year
It was
apart.
So I think it was very special for both of us.
it was interesting
What
you
did
posted about having been to a certain extent proud to have been there to experience that with her because
Yeah.
there's so much you know exactly what she was going through. She knew what you were going through this year as opposed to last year because she went through last year and all this stuff. So it does make it probably made it a little more special for her too, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. Like beating me in the finals, it's definitely I think meant a lot for her. And also I know that she was, thinking about that because she said that I was
Yeah.
thinking about that I have to play her the whole time again, and I just didn't want to lose, which is very like hard mentally, and she
Yeah.
was able to overcome that. And there's nothing about being really proud and admire that type of mentality. So
Yeah.
What did dad tell you after the match
he stayed till 7 a.m. watching my finals, and
back home?
yeah, and
Yeah.
then he said that I'm very proud of you, and there's nothing to be like sad about. Like you fought like a true champion, and you've gave it all, and there's absolutely nothing to be upset about. So
What-
it was very
Yeah.
nice.
as a dad, that's what you're supposed to say. But the truth is, Christina, that he's 100% right because from everybody who watched there, like we all saw you give it your all. And I've always been a fan of yours, but like, and I told Mike this the other day whenever we had the show following the event, like I gained a new level of respect and appreciation for you because you fought your ass off out there, and there's nothing to hang your hat on or down about when it comes to that matchup because you didn't let anybody down. Like you played amazing, and you played like with unbelievable spirit and determination, and had so much adversity and ups and downs and the fucking shootout, and then not it's so many things, but you still played with class and professionalism and with an incredibly high standard that is not easy to do, male or woman. So you got a lot of things to be proud about in that tournament.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Mike, you got anything else before we let her go?
No, I just want to wish you good luck for 2026.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Inside joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have this running joke
Yeah.
where I would see her at matches, at tournaments, and she would be doing really well. And I'd see her and I'd say, hey, I got a big match coming up. Good luck. And she would automatically lose the next match. And
Oh
so
God.
it got to be this running joke where I would see her and I would just say, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to keep
Mike's the
walking
black
right.
cat. I knew it. I
I
knew
would,
it.
during tournaments, I would send her little messages and say, you played great last match. And I'm not going to say anything. And then I would go.
Yeah.
How excited are you for the new year, Kristina? Like just as an athlete?
Oh, I'm very excited. I think next year is going to be full of amazing events. It's going to be very busy and lots of great places to travel. I'm so excited to go back to Bali, to go to Rome, to go back to Vietnam. It's just, seeing sport really growing so rapidly for women, including. It's just, I'm really, really excited and happy. We have so many opportunities now, and hopefully it's only going to keep growing. So,
yeah, it's going to be a big year.
It's going to be a big year for sure. Congratulations on a great 2025. Congratulations on a great World Championship, even though it didn't end the way you wanted to. You made a lot of fans and even more fans than what you already had, myself included. And so don't keep fighting, keep going. And we can't wait to see you back on the table soon in a couple weeks. Or when is WPBA event? Next week?
No,
Two weeks?
January 13th. So 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
It's coming up. Well,
yeah.
go enjoy
Time
the
to
new
go
year with.
practice.
Yeah.
Time to go practice after my hangover New Year night.
There you go. Yeah. Be
January
safe.
1st, I'm ready.
Be safe, please, on New Year's Eve, but also go and enjoy life.
Thank
You certainly earned it. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
making time
guys.
for us, and we'll see you real soon, Kristina.
Yeah, happy holidays.